We are currently trying to get Pretzel Boy to join us in the Wax Night basement, but he is not joining us. Oh, here he comes, there he comes, there he is, there he is, there he is. Welcome to Wax Night. So there we go, our very first intro with Pretzel Boy in the Wax Night basement. Happy Friday.
I said you'll have fun, and I won't disappoint you.
Fellow Kiss fans, welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. And tonight we're going to make it quick, short and quick. As you can see, Pretzel Boy just made his second trip down to the Wax Night basement. Thank you for joining us here in the Wax Night basement. And tonight we're just going to look at one item and kind of bridge our conversation on the hot face of last week. I don't really have a hot face this week. Leave your hot faces below and let's wax. But I do want to discuss what my hot face gripe was last week, and we're going to keep the gripeness out, and we're only going to hot face. Possibly before we hot face, we should go into the story of Pretzel Boy. So, I've kind of touched on this briefly before, won't bore you with the details, but Pretzel Boy was a stray in Oklahoma, and he was so scared and shut down in the shelter that he was on the kill list. And so they pulled him from the kill list and sent him to a foster in Kansas City. And when we got him, he was so shut down, so scared, literally just sat on Pee-wee's dog bed and would not move. He is definitely afraid of doors. He kind of gets timid if you walk behind him. And the foster told us he's a dog. He's not a people dog, which is absolute BS, because he loves people. I just don't think he ever had people to love. And we are those people, and we are going to love you. As George Strait said, we're going to love you forever. I love you, little boy. And it is very strange. He does look like Shandy, and I enjoy the magic of life. He has to wear Shandy's tag because we don't have a collar for him yet. But I enjoy the magic of life and little coincidences. And we lost Shandy due to that mass in her nose. Look at the little Pretzel Boy's nose. It is an absolute heart. So, I think Shandy sent you to us. And you're going to live out your days in the Wax Night basement being a people, person, dog. We love you, boy. Welcome to Wax Night. A whole load of Destroyer merch was released a couple weeks ago, and Destroyer's not a big album for me, so nothing really piqued my interest. One item did pique my eye, let's say, and it was the re-release of the Destroyer Pacifica belt buckle from 1976. The Destroyer 76 Pacifica belt buckle is obviously, to me, I consider it one of the top three of the Pacifica belt buckles. It is one of the big three that were released. And the reason I'm not coming at you with a gripe on this is because I did think about it in a collector point of view. And that is, say you have this and you're a completist, well, you're gonna want the 2026 version, right? Yes, I get that. But my thing is, it's just something I wish Kiss wouldn't do. And we've talked about this on the Destroyer box set. When they re-released the Army kit, my desire to, and I'm just looking at my Army kits right now, my desire to find a 76 Destroyer Army kit and complete it is null now. I don't want to follow that path because I own a reprinted version of the Destroyer Army kit. It boils my skin that the back of the Pacifica re-release, the copyright looks like the 76 version, which I do not like. Those 76 buckles were printed with a 76 stamp, a 76 sticker, and released in 76, and then re-released in 77 with a 77 stamp. eBay evildoers are gonna have a heyday with that, selling that as a vintage belt buckle when we know it's not. That's a hot gripe for me. To me, the big three of Pacifica belt buckle collecting, if you're going down that path as a KISS collector, the big three are the black belt buckle with the silver logo, the Destroyer Pacifica belt buckle, and the belt buckle we're going to talk about tonight, which is the Rock and Roll Over. Those are the big three of Pacifica belt buckle collecting that I think most fans are like, oh, I'm going to start this Pacifica journey, I'm going to get those three. And KISS has come along now and been like, well, eBay evildoers may screw you if you think you're getting a vintage 76 buckle, and we've just kind of ruined the magic of finding a vintage one, because you can go on our website and purchase one for $25, which are sold out, so you can't purchase one anymore. You're ruining the magic, and I get what KISS is doing. KISS wants new fans, right? KISS wants generations younger than me. KISS wants kids who don't collect vintage merch. They want people buying from their website, so they're gonna do this where they, you know, recreate the old stuff to, you know, get you all tantalized, and then you buy the new stuff. I get it. Would have been cooler to me if you would have done a Rock and Roll Over looking bicentennial US Tour 76 belt buckle in the round Pacifica design. That would have been so cool. Now, I mentioned this to my buddy FL Dog, and he said One Stop Shop did make a square bicentennial belt buckle, which I totally forgot. FL Dog is further down the buckle rabbit hole than me. Thank you for that information, FL Dog. You know, KISS, you would have done that in a round Pacifica version. FL Dog would have bought one. I would have bought one because no one has it. That's my gripe. A suggestion to KISS Online from us vintage boys that we're a dying breed. I know, we're only gonna be around here for a little while longer until hopefully we die in our sleep and our wives sell off all this stuff. That's my take on this redoing old stuff, man. Just make it fun, make it new. Leave your hot faces below and let's wax this Rock and Roll Over belt buckle and a little lesson on the patience in collecting. My first ever Pacifica belt buckle was purchased at T&T Variety in St. Joseph, Missouri. The owner left me a message on my mom's answering machine, and he said, Rick, got a Love Gun belt buckle if you're interested. $15 in 1994. He probably bought it at a flea market for $5. But this was my very first Pacifica belt buckle. I believe it is copyright 1977. But this is the first one. 1994. The black belt buckle with the silver prism logo. I love those prisms. From 1977. 1977 Pacifica right there. This was my second belt buckle of the bunch. It felt really good to have the Love Gun and this, and I was on my road down the Pacifica rabbit hole. And if you have ever gone down that rabbit hole, it is so much fun. And it was so much fun, so much more fun pre end of the road tour, pre 2019, because it 2019 something happened and belt buckles jumped from $50 to $100 to $500 and up, and it's ridiculous. And then during lockdown 2020-ish, I love that time. That was the greatest time ever in the world. You're telling me I don't have to leave the house and I can just sit around my KISS merch all day? Thank you. Around that time I bought the Destroyer buckle off of eBay. And this is a 77 reprint, I believe. I am mistaken. This is a 76, so this would have had the sticker on it at one point because all three of those buckles were re-released in 77. This information is coming to us from Nicholas Buckland's amazing book, The Hottest Brand in the Land. 3 buckles were released in 76 with a copyright sticker, then were re-released the next year with a 1977 stamped into them. Rock and Roll Over buckle was obviously revamped from the prototype photographed on the merch sheet. And per that comment, look at the Rock and Roll Over buckle on the merch sheet. It is just the circle. And obviously the way the Pacifica buckles are like an oval doesn't really look as cool, but it does look cool revamped. And I gotta show you this. I'm sorry. This is a big night for us. Look how cute he is. Just hanging out. Hanging out in the Wax Night basement. Shandy would be proud. She didn't get too many days down here. So this is big for us, big for my heart. I love you, boy. And what is even cooler is I have waited since 1994 to purchase a Rock and Roll Over buckle. And it has arrived. The 1977 Rock and Roll Over buckle. This is a 77 stamp on the back. There you go, 1977. I have waited since 1994 for this. This is huge for me. I did not purchase this pre-End of the Road. FL Dog did, and he paid high even back then for the back then prices. But 2019, when End of the Road hit, these buckles freaking soared. And Rock and Roll Over buckles all of a sudden were $300 to $500. And not down for that at all. Nothing is worth that much money. And it really grinds my gears. I just, really bothers me. But I love it because this is one of the big 3. And there it is. I have waited so long to have Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, and Love Gun all in one spot every year. Every year since college and adulthood. I have made a New Year's resolution of Kiss items I wanted, and every year I wrote R and R-O buckle. And in 2026, it came true. So many years since 1994 when I was in college. It's there. Especially when I got this in the lockdown years, 2020. So it's been a good 6 years waiting for the 3rd, but a long time waiting to complete the big 3. And since we're talking Rock and Roll Over, and we did talk the US Tour poster earlier, let's take a look at a Wax Night wall that was actually the first wall put together. Now, I know I said when we took the very first tour that the Double Platinum wall was the first wall I completed of posters. It is true. It's the first wall I completed as kind of like a theme. Like, this is the Double Platinum wall. This is the Alive 2 wall. That was a theme. But the first wall I ever completed was on New Year's Eve, 2025, December 31st. Finished it about 3 in the morning, January 1st. And it's this. It's the bar. And Danny, if you're watching that, I'm sure you just laughed as I did because it reminded me of that David Letterman skit. Hey, look, it's the bar. If you remember Wax Night Basement number 1, this was the TV. And we decided when we were doing all this, we were going to put the TV over there, small couch there, solo album wall, and bar here. And I freaking love it. I love the bar next to the fireplace, and we were originally going to do a wood panel wall back there, like an accent wall, but the orange ended up looking so cool, so we decided to not do the accent wall. And then New Year's Eve, I was down here, and I was so amped to start hanging posters. I was like, I just want to hang one poster back here and really tie it off, make it look cool, make it look 70s, make it look like your dad's basement, and he allowed you to hang a poster in the family rec room. And I was like, this bar is perfect. Imagine the 70s parties that took place at this bar. We bought this bar at an estate sale in my neighborhood, and it was in the most Boogie Nights basement you've ever seen in your life. The entire wallpaper of the basement was red, white, and blue 1976 bicentennial wallpaper. So I know this bar has seen some hella fun parties. And it was like, perfect. I know the exact poster that's going to go up here. Courtesy of my buddy Ken. Thank you so much. The U.S. Tour poster. This poster hung, not this exact one, but this U.S. Tour poster hung on my college door in college. My bedroom door in college. Hung there for many, many years of fun. And now it really ties the 70s of the bar into the 70s of the fireplace and basement. And it's just magical. And it was the very first poster hung here, kind of set off the rest. Everything flowed perfectly. And Little Pretzel Boy says, good job. And then I just designed the rest of the bar, kind of like we always did. Love this light. My wife got me that when we were upstairs for many years. The old Playboy ashtray. The naked lady pen where you move it and her clothes come off. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to get banned. Playboy lighter. My Gene Simmons Gallery magazine from 78. The Playboy with the Kiss article from 77. And the After Dark magazine with the very first ever centerfold of Kiss from 1974. That's there. This is my all-time favorite Playboy. The very first Playboy I ever saw as a kid in my friend Sean Wiley's grandpa's basement. And inside is Gail Stanton. She is my favorite centerfold of all time. I don't believe she's with us anymore, but she's my favorite centerfold. And this is my favorite Playboy. Lots of childhood magic right there.
Oh, she's beautiful. Well, you want to sell any of them to me?
Shit, no. I cherish these things. I use them a lot.
How do you use a magazine?
Okay, moving on. And then we have the Music Life magazines. Black version is my favorite. Had this one in college and ended up passing it on to another Kiss fan at some point. And rebought that off of eBay. And then Elaine Boliche did a Kiss magazine almost in the style of the Music Lives. And Elaine Boliche's work is amazing. And this is a great freaking magazine. So that is a little Japanese fun to tie off the 1976. Even though I kind of consider this Wax Night basement like 1982. And the reason I do that is that Donkey Kong over there and the Miss Pac-Man machine over there. So I kind of consider this a 80s basement. 1982-ish. We're going to go with 1982. This section is so 70s. You know, and in 1982, families still had 70s decor. So we're just keeping it old school down here. We're keeping it physical media, your dad's bar, fun. Crack a Schlitz on that bar, and you're set. Speaking of, I even have these cool ass full staff foam koozies back behind the bar. So if you ever come to the Wax Night house, bring a sixer. Me and the boys got a couple sixers. You with us? Little boy, pretzel boy. And what I also did down here to kind of complete the fireplace, we talked about Large Marge, PB, and Shandy last week. Added like a little kid's toy corner. Donkey Kong. This is why I said 1982-ish. Donkey Kong machine, Gene Simmons Mego, Star Wars board game, Dallas Uno, Mastermind, Dukes of Hazzard, Viewmaster, Pac-Man board game, and a Viewmaster. And yes, that is a Kiss Viewmaster inside of that. Little kid's toy shelf area right next to Grandpa's bar. Dad's bar. You should show everyone how you jump over the couch. It's pretty cool. Little boy did it one night in a video, but you should show everyone. Little boy's still outside. Thank you for hanging with us tonight and waxing a little rock and roll nostalgia with Pretzel Boy. First time in the Wax Night basement, came down by himself, comes down the stairs now, and it all happened on video. And I thank you for joining us here in the Wax Night basement. Be good to your babies. See, he's very skittish. Very skittish boy. Come here. But we love you. Be good to your babies. Spay, neuter, microchip. Take care. Be safe. Spay, neuter, microchip so there's not strays out there like Pretzel Boy. And adopt when you can. Spay, neuter, microchip. Take care. Be safe. We will talk to you soon.